Welcome back to the Men Seeking Freedom podcast, episode number 26. And I'm Michael Lynch, the host. Today's episode is all about the truth about limiting beliefs. A few weeks ago in a podcast, I'd announced that I'd created the Resilient Man Coaching Experience. And over time, I've gotten a lot of questions, had a lot of great conversations. And one of the questions that I get is, tell us a little bit more about your definition of the resilient man. So it ties into the title of this episode, and let me dive into that for you. First of all, the resilient man is someone who has said, I am tired of the thoughts in my brain. Often they are limiting beliefs. Oftentimes I'm working with men who are coming out of a divorce, coming out of a traumatic event, and they had some thoughts and beliefs that didn't serve them well, that led to unfortunate situations. But the unlimiting beliefs can cover a wide range of areas. They often ask themselves, am I enough? They look out in the world and say, boy, my neighbor seems to be happier and have more toys than I do. Or do I have enough money? I don't have enough money to get by. Not uncommon after divorce. And I don't have enough time. The resilient man is the kind of person who literally will stand up to the concept of being too busy and busy running where the calendar runs their life. And they finally say to themselves, I want to do something about this. Key attribute, based on what I just said, the resilient man is honest with himself. I can't work with anyone who doesn't meet that qualification because everything is in a false universe for people who aren't being honest with themselves. Do you ever have that person in your life that you know well? You have a conversation with them, and then when you walk away from the conversation, you say, I'm not sure I got all of the story from that person. People that can't be honest with themselves will never be honest with you. So a resilient man is someone who has to reach a point. A lot of times it's because something unfortunate has happened to them, and they say, you know what? I'm going to be as honest as possible with myself. And I find the door opener on that is what I'd referred to earlier. Honest with yourselves mean here is one or several limiting beliefs that are keeping me from becoming the person that I want to be. The resilient man says the status quo is no longer acceptable. Again, we live in this culture where you get up in the morning and next thing you know, whether you're prepared for it or not, everything kind of snowballs. Things can get out of control. You get into reactionary mode. That is not who the resilient man is. So they say, you know what? Status quo life, in addition to being honest with themselves, status quo life is no longer acceptable. I am enough of a human being to believe in what I'm capable of, to know I will take another step toward gaining greater control of my life. And the resilient man takes control of his decisions. Decisions are a key piece in the transformation I offer in this program. You are empowered to make strong decisions you may have been fearful of making in the past, all for the purpose of moving you toward becoming a better person. So I'm giving you kind of what's the transformation, Michael? What happens with people who want to become resilient men? Well, I just shared with you a lot about where they are in this moment. And it is very important to understand where people are in this moment and then where it is that they want to go with their lives. That's why they bring in a coach. That's why they want to be resilient. They want to have a sense of here's what I am striving toward. The calendar doesn't dictate this. I am striving toward this, whatever this is, in all aspects of their life. And what I've found is there's four general areas people are seeking transformation. And I work with them on those things. Number one, they want time freedom. They want to, even if there's many aspects of their life, they give up with the idea of the calendar running their life. And they say, you want to know something? I want to start making decisions where I get to play a role in dictating the calendar. Could relate to their work, could relate to their family, could relate to their passions. I don't determine that part. The people I work with are the ones who let me know what they prioritize. The calendar is never one of them, the calendar running their life. The second thing people want is freedom of money. Does not mean get rich quick. This is not what that is. Freedom of money means how often can I make decisions in my life? There's that word again. How often can I make decisions where I have the confidence of knowing I have the resources available to me? Everybody on their own has an idea of what they need as opposed to got to be a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire. Now that we have those, really want to focus on what amount of money will give you freedom in your life. The third thing, they want the freedom of relationships. We can all know a lot of people due to the nature of our work and the way we live our lives. But I find that people are really seeking transformation in the Resilient Man program. They want to really be a little more selective on who they want to spend the most time with. And the Resilient Man wants to spend time with people who are empowering, kind of see the world similar to how they do, just people that they thoroughly enjoy being themselves. Freedom of relationships means you don't have to put on a facade for these people that are your true relationships in life. They're people who accept you for who you are and vice versa. There is no, all of these are important. This area may be the most important. The fourth area of freedom they're looking for, and they may not word it this way, but I call it a freedom of purpose. Am I living my life in alignment with the belief I have that this is what I'm meant to be doing on this earth? At this moment, I want to give a shout out to an incredible man named Dan Sullivan at Strategic Coach. He made me years ago aware of these freedoms, and it made an impact at the time. But then the deeper I get into coaching and working with people, it just resonates more and more. So thank you, Dan. Time, money, relationships, purpose, in some form, the people I work with in Resilient Man coaching program, coaching experience, are seeking some, if not all of those. And that's what the transformation is. It's around my favorite word, or one of my favorite words, freedom. I'm an American. We are the freest and arguably the best country in the world. Our freedoms are so important to us. And yet, if we don't make a commitment to transform ourselves and our lifestyles, we can feel like prisoners in our life. And I've done that personally. I've gotten up on days and I was like, how can I live in the freest country in the world and feel like a prisoner to who I am? Don't be a prisoner of your thoughts. Welcome the freedoms that come with true human transformation in the Resilient Man coaching experience. Please, to learn more, let's have a conversation about this. To learn more, go to menseekingfreedom.com and you'll see a button, top right corner, contact Michael. Leads to a conversation. Let's talk about what beliefs are holding you back. Let's talk about the transformation that is possible. And let's talk about How much time do you have to put this important decision off? I'll see you in the next episode.